How can we develop trust towards the process, towards the fact that everything that happens for us, not to us? Watch this out. I have a response from somebody under my video on intuition, and that is on TikTok channel. This lady says, I'm trying to understand how I didn't see it coming. I always tend to know if something is right, but I left a well-paid corporate job as I was poached, and they got rid of my manager and me after only 11 weeks. I've lost a car and salary and facing a hardship. So here's the thing. Intuition is not there to lay down a fluffy carpet in front of you to walk on. Intuition is not there to lay a red carpet for you to walk on to the heights of your success. Intuition is there for you to learn and to teach you lessons. And answering to this question, I would like you all right now to look back at some point in your lifetime that you knew that was difficult, you knew that was hard, you knew that was a challenge, and maybe that was one of your lowest moments. But now, perhaps 1 or 3 or 5 or 10 years later, you look back at that and you realize that that was the best thing that could happen to you. In fact, that's exactly what I teach in my course, From Heartbroken to Happiness. Because we look back at what happened in your relationship, but we look at that experience, not from 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago. We look at that experience from a perspective of 5 or 10-year-old in the future self, and we look back and we extract the lessons. So your task right now, if you're going through a hardship, if you're going through difficulties, if you're right now at the lowest of your lowest, your task right now is to understand what are you learning right now. And here's the thing, way too many people, they choose to continue rising out of ashes, just like those phoenixes, simply because they carry so much pride in recovering from the lowest of the lowest moments in their lives. So if you want to really break the pattern of doing that, you got to make a decision that enough is enough. Enough is enough being afraid of unknown future. Enough is enough being afraid to take action versus not taking action because you're afraid of failure. Enough is enough to be comfortable with not being comfortable. Yes, it's a thing. Too many people, they're comfortable whilst not being comfortable because you become tolerant. Just like when you drink alcohol, if I don't drink alcohol now, well, actually it will be a year. Okay? And that was just a personal choice because I just realized one day, alcohol is such a social thing. I never have a desire, I never fancied it, I never wanted, so why would I drink it? If I would want to, I can have it. But I never had desire since, so I don't drink it. So I know if today I'll have a glass of wine, I'll be drunk. If tomorrow I have a glass of wine, I'll be like, oh, I'm already getting used to. If day after I'll have another glass of wine, I'll be perfectly fine. Because tolerance towards alcohol gets higher and higher with every day. The same happens with your hardships. The same principle applies to you tolerating your comfort zone. And if your comfort zone is here at the lowest of your standards, then it's your job to increase your standards, not mine. But you got to really stand up for yourself and to tell yourself enough is enough. I'm better than that. I will be better than that. I am becoming better than that. That's just to start with and start working on it. But when it comes to right now, this lady going through the hardship that she lost her car, she lost her salary. First, what are you learning? What are you learning right now, my darling? Because 5 years later, you will look back at this moment and you will say, because of that, I started my business. Because of that, I started working on my gifts and I started sharing my gifts with the world. And now I'm doing so much better. Because of that, Thankfully, because of that, I started listening to more of this content and I started working on myself. And as a result, I changed my mindset and I became a brand new person. If you don't see that silver lining in that cloud right now, it doesn't mean it's not there. It means you refuse to see it. But the thing is, if right now you will practice feeling grateful for that unseen silver lining, that means when you will have greatness in your life, that will be your habit. So what could you do is first being grateful for what you have. You clearly have a device that you're watching this video on. You clearly have roof above your head. You have electricity to charge your phone and everything else. Think about what you are grateful for versus what you have lost. Because the more you pay attention to what you're grateful for, the more you magnetize that. The more you pay attention to what's lost or what's gone or what's missing, you're magnetizing that. You're magnetizing in both cases. I call it manifesting. Some people call it magnetizing. So if you're magnetizing or manifesting in both cases, well then choose. What would you prefer to manifest? What would you prefer to magnetize? So first thing is turning after lessons into gratitude. How can you be grateful for? What for can you be grateful right now? And third step is trust. It's building that trust between you, and the source, God, Allah, whatever you believe in. It doesn't matter what faith. It's all about building that trust. Building that trust, knowing that it is for the great purpose. It is for the great reason. You can't see the reason now, just like you cannot see 1 year ahead of you. But for now, just trust and believe it is for the highest purpose. It is for the highest reason. And just trust that, because if you can't learn how to trust that things are happening for you, you will not trust your intuition either. If you're not going to trust that you are taken care of even during the hardest times, you will not feel that protection and that care from higher source, God, whatever you want to call it, in the hardest times or in the good times, because you just don't practice that muscle of seeing that protection and that guidance is not trained. So what's important right now is to simply feeling that ultimate trust within you, knowing it will work out, knowing it will be better, knowing better days are coming. When I came to this country and I had so little food that only in 3 months I lost nearly 10 kilograms. I came out with 65 kilograms with my height of 5'11". I was 57 kilograms. I was a walking skeleton because I was saving on money, because I was feeding my son and whatever he would not finish, I would finish off. And we haven't had enough food for 2 people. So when I was in those circumstances, I knew this is my lowest of the lowest, but I will not give up. I knew this will teach me a really powerful lesson, and I learned how to never waste food. I grew up with abundance of food, even though we didn't have much money in my family. But in my family, we had abundance of food because we grew up, well, outside of the city, let's put this way. Not a farm, but not in the city either, right? Something in the middle. And my mom, bless her, she was so good at preserving food, and we grew our own organic food. Everything was organic, right? So I grew up in this abundance of food, and suddenly I'm moving to another country and I have no food. And I'm feeding my son, and whatever leftovers are left after a child, that's what I'm eating. And during those moments, I was grateful that I have something to feed my child with. Because surely there were many mothers who couldn't even feed their children. I was able to feed my child, and I was grateful for that. During those moments, I knew that it's perfect time for me right now to learn English, so I'm never, ever, ever back again into this situation again. And touch wood, I have never been. Right now, I communicate to you this message in English, and trust me, in my own language, I would struggle to do it. That's how much effort I put into learning this new skill during my hardship. I also was learning about myself during the time. It was about resilience. And also, most importantly, it was this ultimate trust that it will work out. It will work out because I trust it will work out. And it did. So my darling, I invite you today, regardless where you're right now in life, you could be in a very difficult situation. You might know somebody who is in a very difficult situation. If that's the case, please send this message to them. I would love to pass on this message to them. They need to hear that they are taken care of, they are thought of, and they are going towards better times. You are taken care of. You are thought of, and you are going towards better times. But your thoughts right now are creating your future. So through your trust, through your gratitude, and through your lessons that you're extracting right now out of your hardship, you are shifting yourself towards those better times. And that depends on you. So I'm inviting today you, your family members, your loved ones, your friends, unite these powers together and start thinking, what am I learning right now? What am I grateful for right now? And how can I trust more? And I don't mean by that you should do nothing. I do not believe in inaction, because inaction is still a choice. I don't believe in inaction. I believe in mindful thinking, mindful co-creation of your future, whilst you are taking inspired action. So just do this test, seriously, right now. After watching this video, sit down, take a journal, take a notebook, just take a piece of paper, for God's sake. Take that and write down, first thing, what am I learning right now through my hardships? And write down all the lessons. Second thing, what am I grateful right now whilst I'm in this hardship? What am I really grateful for? And write it all down. And third thing, just write down this, seriously, in your own words, write down, I trust that I'm taken care of. I trust that I'm guided. I trust that everything will work out for me. I trust that this situation will be a gift which one day I'll be able to see. I trust things are working out for me, not against me. And after that, just take a moment, close your eyes, and sit in silence. And just listen to your intuition to speak to you. Hear out your intuition. See what it will tell you that you could implement in your life. And this way, it can change it. Because I'm sure this all happened in your life for a reason. It's time to start trusting. Here's me, Olga Gaydana, your guide towards better life. We can do it through mindset coaching. We can also do it through energy healing. Reach out, and we can definitely get you to the next level of your life. See you soon.